right. Well, thank you again for being patient. My name is Anuschka. I'm an empowerment health coach and energy healer.
And I am Jacob Moya, and I'm also a therapist, a healer, and all that kind of modalities practitioner.
And we are super excited to continue our weekly Healers Talk Tuesdays live with all of you. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about anger release from an energetic standpoint. So what do we mean by that, Jacob?
Well, first of all, anger, the emotion, right? Because, you've been following the series of different topics that we've been sharing with the community. We are kind of like building little by little all the different models, right? All the different important things to pay attention to. And there's a few emotions in particular that are very, very important because these emotions kind of like are very impactful, not only in our body, but also in the way that we see the world, in the way that we live our experience. Anger is one of those very powerful energies, and to be honest, is very harmful. It's very, very harmful to have anger inside of you because not only because of the interactions that you have with the people that love you and that cares for you, or your co-workers, but also health-wise. The emotion of anger is one of the lower emotions. That's that one, then shame and fear. Those three emotions, right, are like the bottom of the bottom, right?
Well, guilt. I would say guilt is another one that a lot of people.
Guilt, yeah, but shame is kind of like guilt with on steroids, right? And so anger is kind of on the same category, right? So that is the reason why we want to be aware when we have all that rage inside of us, and then release it, but release it in a way that it's not harmful for your environment. And when I'm talking about that is that you are not taking that energy and just throw it into another human being. Because remember, we've been talking about this for a long time now. We live in a dimension where everything is about balance, right? So if you throw that type of energy out, needs to eventually balance itself, and in order for you to energetically balance that, you have to receive similar energies or emotions. And it will be ideal if you can choose when to receive that, right? But unfortunately, it's gonna come at the time where you are less prepared for it, or you are just too busy in another type of situation. So that is one of the reasons why we want to pay a special attention to all these emotions. Now, anger in particular, it's an energy that is so dense that because how can I say this? We have fear and we have shame. I'm gonna try to put in words how I see it energetically wise, right? So hopefully it's gonna make sense for the people here. Anger, it creates kind of like a dark, dense color energy. I'm not talking about black in particular, although it can be black, but it can be like a very deep blue, almost purple blue, and but it's kind of like how can I say, like a shade in front of you, right? That is anger. Shame, it's kind of like a ball of energy that goes down, and fear is actually energy from you that pulls. It creates kind of like holes of energy. I have a person here at the center that she's been going through her own awakening, and she's coming from a heritage where all they have all these gifts. Let's put it that way. And she lived in denial for many years, trying to hide them from everybody else, until she met me, and then we start talking about it and working and so on and so forth. So now she's at the point that she can see energies around the people. And she was asking me about that. What is those black spots in the energy? And I was like, perfect that you bring it to my attention, because we've been talking about this. That's the fear, those are the holes that fear creates inside of you. But shame is like, shame takes your energy and brings everything down. I mean, just telling you about it right now, I feel a tingling sensation in my legs. You're probably gonna feel the same if you are a little bit awakened or connected. You feel just mentioning the word, you feel it like in your calves and below the knee. Below the knee is where you feel, because that energy turns to move down. Anger. This is the reason why it's the topic of our conversation, and we don't have all the three, because anger in particular is just all over the place. It's just all over the place. We don't have it in one particular area. So the way that we release anger is going to be different than the way that we heal fear and that we release shame. Because remember, one are to be released, other ones are to be healed. Anger is an energy that we want to dissipate. It's actually, we want to move it out in a place or in a way that is safe for our environment, so we don't get affected in return by our environment when it's time to pay back.
Looks like we're getting some hellos and highs. So hello everyone on Instagram. Thank you for your comment, Wanted MM. Awesome. And so I definitely am not seeing anything on Facebook. I'm getting a request to have you join. Unfortunately, we're not doing that right now since we're here live on both Facebook and Instagram. But if you have a question, you're more than welcome to type that over here on Instagram. So for me, like, one of the things I always share with my own clients when it comes to anger is, one, I see it like a balloon, and it's like, if you're constantly holding things in and you're not releasing, you're not dissipating it, that balloon is going to get it's just literally like bigger and bigger, to the point where any little tiny thing is going to cause it to explode. So it's like, that's just how it is, and it's human nature. So the thing I always say is be in control of the anger and release it, rather than allowing it to control you, because that's what ends up happening when we don't actually deal with the emotions.
Right. And the thing is that, how can I say this? It's not only that we have to release it. It's like it transforms your reality. It transforms the way that you see the world. It transforms your interactions. It transforms how the people around you perceive you. And that is what is very important about anger, because nobody wants to be close to angry people. It's just common sense. It's something that we naturally reject. Why? Because we need to be always. It's not that we always try, but it's natural, like you said. Our natural way is to protect ourselves, right? So in order for us to protect ourselves, we're gonna try to stay away from people that have that type of vibration. When we feel it, it's like, oh no, I don't want to be close to that person.
Otherwise, you have to be on eggshells with them. It's like you have to always be careful, and you're just like, so that's not fun.
Yeah, and it's very uncomfortable. It's you feel that uncomfortableness inside of you when you're next to those type of persons. Not those type of persons, because everybody goes through anger, but let's say
Yeah.
when you are close to a person that is they have a lot of anger inside of them.
Like anger that they haven't actually dealt with, really. So how do we go about releasing it? Because I know I have certain exercises that I have my clients go through, and it is, in a safe way to really just get to that place, journal about it, get to those emotions, and then actually release it, whether it's through screaming it out. And I mean, this works for me. And then, or like punching a pillow, or volleyball for me is like the best anger release, because I just run and scream and all the stuff. And so for me, like, that's why I feel like I'm so light right now, because I just played volleyball earlier. And the days I play, I have like a whole different type of a day, because it's like, whew, it's all out of my system. But I also then bring in the higher frequencies thereafter, because not to leave a void, right? Because it's always energies shifting, right? So I'd love to hear from your perspective.
The thing here is, like, for example, when you are playing volleyball, you're doing it on the beach, right? So it's there's a combination of other factors. Most likely you are barefoot, right?
Oh yeah, in the sand, by the ocean. Yeah, very grounding.
Exactly, so it's like energy everywhere. And then on top of everything, you have the and and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like a magic combination, right? But most people don't have that luxury, especially if they don't live in a beach town, right?
Right.
So what is it that you can do if you're at work, or you are with your children? Because with your children it's very easy to get triggered, and to experience that anger
and be explosive.
Yes, but you have to. This is the secret. You kill the bacteria when it's small, right? When they just start, you kill the viruses when you have the first symptoms, not when you have it all over your body, in full control of your body, right? Because it becomes way more difficult. So it's the same here, is at the first signs of anger. Let me give you an example about this. Let's say that, for example, in my case here at the center, I am proposing something, that I'm seeing something that we should do or stop doing something in particular in the protocols for healing for the people, And someone come back to me and say, no, we're not going to do that because whatever, we have the forms already for it, or we have a system already established, whatever, usually because they are dismissing my contribution, the first natural reaction will be angry. It's anger. I mean, and defend myself and make my point, and persist and insist, right? And but in reality, that energy is already inside of me. So that is the perfect time for you to release the energy. Because if you don't release it at that point, it's going to keep accumulating, and it's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and it's going to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually it's going to get to a point where we are about to explode. The exercise that I'm going to share with you, it's an exercise that works on both situations, but on the first one, it's very easy. It takes care of business right away. In the other ones, you have to really work it out. You really need to have like the mindset about thinking about the situation that create anger you before releasing it, and then see yourself, visualizing yourself how you are releasing it. And the reason that I explain you this is because if you are trying it right now and with other people, and it happens that you have this situation where you've been accumulating, and your anger tank is almost full, it's not going to be that easy, right? Like it's going to be on my example. So it really depends on that. Now, what is it that I recommend you to do is just grab the energy from here, from your neck, all the way through your cheeks, all the way through your face, and bring that anger out. Now,
With intention.
We are releasing it up, not down. Why is that? Because, like I told you, it's it's energy that is all around you, and it's gonna be way easier to just remove it to a higher vibration, so it can be eliminated, than it's gonna be to give it to the earth. Bringing it down. Shame.
So, can I ask you something with that then?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
so you're saying so is anger? You're saying it sits here then?
Yeah. Well, you usually
when I'm angry, I feel it here, right?
Right, right. But this is the area where you notice. This is the area where it usually gets stuck. You like.
You grind your teeth.
Yeah, and it's like no.
Okay.
So this is what you want to start releasing, because if you're trying to release it from below here, you can give it a shot, because this is the beauty about energetic work. Everybody's different, and everybody can have their own protocols. So I'm sharing the protocols that I seem to work with most people, but you can have your own protocol, and because your belief systems are way more stronger than any rule that is written in the book, you're gonna be able to release it faster, right? So if you breathe it from the stomach, you can bring it up.
So Dolce Vita y Felicita, she actually said she also feels it in her stomach as well.
Yeah.
So I'd love to share what I do when I when I have that anger feeling and I'm not playing volleyball. So it's intention. That's something I've definitely learned from you, is all about intention. And so if I feel that anger, and it's usually like a dark color, like more like I would say dark brown, black color that I sense inside, like right in my I would say it's in my right below my solar plexus area. So I just envision I'm bringing it out, and that's really what I do. It's like a ball. That's how I usually see it. And then I'm I just bring it out, and I envision I'm bringing it out, and I just send it to the ground, or I send it to the sun if I'm outdoors. And then I envision the whitest bright light, another ball, and then I just bring that in to my belly. So that's something that's worked for me when
it does work. That's actually a technique that was developed with NLP. And the whole technique is to bring all the energy out and spin it, and you make it spin in front of you, because you're gonna see that it's spinning one way, and you're gonna see a color, and the more that you spin it, the brighter that it becomes, and then you can sense that ball is kind of attracting the rest of the energy. And then the technique from NLP is just to stop the ball and then spin it to the opposite side, to the opposite side, until it becomes very bright, very, very fast, and it's going to change colors. And once it changes color, it's completely, you cannot spin it faster, then you bring it back in. So you don't leave any holes inside of you, and that will shift, and definitely shifts. But the way that I'm telling you, it's a little bit different, because
I'm going to take that. And actually, Joanna said she feels it, the tension in her head and face too, so she's going to try.
Right. This is the difference between both techniques. The NLP technique is a technique that you are creating with your mind, right? It's a healing process that you are doing with your mind to transform your reality. And it works. It's because everything is about intention, like you just mentioned, right? So it definitely works. I'm not going to tell you that it's not going to work, and it's not better or worse. It's just a technique. But I want to explain to the people what's the difference. The other one is the actual energy. We are not changing the mindset. We will need to have an intention as well. The intention is to release this. And the way that we do it is like I said, is from the neck. I have headphones, so I cannot touch my head properly, but it's from here up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, until you release it, and then again, and go do it with breathing. So it's like, So now you are taking energy from your throat chakra, you're taking energy from your third eye, and you're taking energy out through your crown chakra. So let's dissect what we are doing here. You're taking all the words that you haven't been able to say, you know, either because of the environment or the place that you are, or because the other person is right, you know, all that, the energy of the words that you haven't been able to express, you're taking them out. Second thing is your third eye, right? Your third eye is all about your intuition, is the way that you see the future, right? So you are clearing the shades, the curtains that you're putting in your third eye that's not allowing you to see further. That probably it's better for this person to win the battle so you can win the war, you know? That nothing happened just because of it, right? That there's a reason why you are experiencing this. So you're clearing that as well. And then lastly, you are taking it from the head. So you're taking it out of your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is your connection with the spirit, right? And it's also the door that allows the energy from heaven to come inside of you. So when we are doing this exercise, it's like we are purifying ourselves. So remember what Anuschka just mentioned. I don't know, this is like 5 minutes ago. It's, we don't leave the body empty, right? So as soon as you remove something from your body and you have a door open, that energy is gonna come naturally to you, you know, and it's gonna come back inside of you, and it's gonna help you to compensate all those things that you have inside of you that are not allowing you to see the world the way that it actually is, or to actually activate this energy that will allow you to see the things different. You know, you can see that all the challenges that are happening in your life are opportunities, are not, in reality, they're no challenges, right? It's just a way that the universe or your higher self is communicating to you that that the way that you are trying to do the things that is not the right way, you know, that you have to try it in a different way. So that is the difference. Now, for the people that,
I just want to add something with that. What I love about the whole third eye part, because I know when I'm emotional, whether it's like upset, hormones, whatever, anger,
whatever,
my intuition is gone. So I actually really like this method because you're actually opening it back up again.
So, you're trying to come back to neutral, right? Now, it's not gonna go in one pass unless you are very, very good and you have, once again, you know, energetic work is all about your beliefs, right? What you understand and what is easier for you. If you activate your energy like we do it before we meditate, and you release that, it's gonna be more powerful, right? And if it worked for you before and you have that reference in your mind, now it's a done deal, right? It's gonna be like one pass is gonna be more than enough. But until you get to that point, you can try it 2 or 3 times. The idea is that you feel the difference, you know? Now,
while breathing,
if you
I think that's
too long, right? If you waited too long and you still have these emotions inside of you that you're feeling it in your stomach, then for all the people that watch or the purchase our empath workshop or that went to our video, to the seminar through video, we learn how to pull energy out of your lower chakras into the top, right? So it's gonna be just bringing that energy, bringing that energy up and up and up and up.
from your root chakra.
Sometimes, all the way. Sometimes when you are bringing the energy from your stomach and you go towards your solar plexus, and as soon as you reach your heart, it's gonna be like shaking. It's gonna be like, oh my God, I feel all this energy moving inside of me. Just keep going, you know, keep going until you don't feel anything. And you can actually feel it. Like in my case, for example, I feel the contractions, and it's like my body shaking and everything when I'm releasing dense stuff inside my body. So take that in consideration, because in reality, it's gonna make a difference. It's gonna make a difference, and the difference is not only that you're no longer carrying that emotion, but it's also the way that you see life, the way that you see the environment around you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And one thing I want to add to that too is because like a lot of times when I'm angry or frustrated, I want to cry, and I used to hold it in. So that's the other thing I really want to share is if there are tears, let it out. Because otherwise, like you'll notice
Oh yeah.
there's like a whole word for it in Farsi. I don't think we have one in English, but like it starts to get all clogged up, right? Like when you
Mm-hmm.
don't cry, your throat chakra
Mm-hmm.
is just like it feels there's like something
Mm-hmm.
there, and
Right.
that's you suppressing it rather than releasing it through the tears.
Right. And the thing is, this exercise will help you with that. Will help you to alleviate the excess emotion that you have in your in your um, in your chakra here on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
It will definitely help you. Because you have the intention and you're actually physically moving that energy, and you
Mm-hmm.
can move it physically because it's dense energy. So it's the people that are sensitive enough will feel it. It will definitely feel that different vibration in the hands when you're moving it out. So consider that. It's definitely something that you want to consider. Now, when it comes to shame, it's different, right?
Okay.
And shame is like I said, is more towards the bottom. So shame is an energy that you want to heal, definitely, and that you want to bring into the floor. It's gonna be way easier to bring it all the way down to the floor than if you are picking up from your feet and bringing it all the way up. Now, remember this. Shame it's because of something that you did or someone else shamed you, but again, it's something that it's an action. It's something that happened in your recent or in your faraway past. It's something that you experienced during your timeline. And if you keep living and you don't heal it, eventually it's going to go away. And that is the human way to deal with emotions. You just keep it there until you don't feel it anymore. And that is not the healthy way, because
Yeah.
in reality it never goes away.
It just
It
gets
just gets
suppressed.
stuck into an area of your body.
Right.
And it's gonna show up in
Show
a
up in the
different way,
physical symptoms.
right? We don't know which way it's gonna show up.
Right.
Yeah, but it's gonna show up. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna come back. It's gonna haunt you back,
Yep.
right? Because remember, your body is very smart, and knows that you have something inside of you that don't belong. So it definitely wants to make sure that thing that does not belong in your body is no longer in your body. So it's gonna help you to move that out of the way. And the only way that I know that you can help to release shame is to go to that place in your memory. Whatever comes to your mind is the right place, and then start. How can I say this? Start healing it by asking for forgiveness or forgiven.
Yeah.
Try to find out what are the gifts that event bring to your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the key of any healing. What are the gifts that were hidden
Right.
into this? The way that I see it is like all the dense experiences that we have in our life are kind of like the transportation vehicle that is using all these different massive gifts that you're going to receive. But they have to come to you in a very dense way so you can actually notice them and be aware of them. Because usually there are transformational things. It helps you to make decisions, it helps you to take action, it forces you to connect with other people, so on and so forth. So that is the secret to release shame. You know, try to focus on all the gifts that experience that is shaming you, bring it to your life. So then you can come back to that version of yourself. And first of all, tell to that version of yourself that you love it, that you love, in my case, I love you, I love him, and I honor you, and I'm not making you guilty of anything, you know, and I love you unconditionally, exactly the way that you are, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And then go together with all the people that you interacted in that particular situation and heal it, you know. That is something that Anushka and I specialize on. You know, if anybody of you here guys have something that you don't even know what is related to or when it happens that you want to heal, just contact us. You know, this is what we do for a living, and in a session we can pretty much go through all this process. But the beautiful thing about you being guided through the process is that you don't have to keep your rational awareness present to keep giving yourself instructions, right? You can just surrender to the experience and allow someone else to take that responsibility and take you through all the different steps and processes to remove it completely and for good out of your body. But if you feel
being open to it, of course, too. But yes.
And if you feel that emotion, like something that you are just interacting with, you can just close your eyes and send that energy down to the floor. Remember, when it's something that just happened, is very small, you know, it's very manageable. The problem is when you let it go and for time, and eventually we're talking about years, and that thing is still there and it's like rock solid. This is more complicated. It's not impossible to heal it, but it's a little bit more complicated.
And I mean, and things like this, like I'm very clear that the brain tumor that I had as of today, over 3 years ago, or as of like Sunday actually, but I'm very clear that it was just suppressed anger and resentment. Like I'm so clear that that's what it was. I was not a happy person in my 20s. So for me, and I just would not deal with it. I would numb it out by drinking, and I wouldn't even allow myself to feel sadness. And so showed up somehow, right?
Yeah, it's energy, right? So it's energy inside of your body, needs to go to a particular place, needs to be hosted somewhere, and it's gonna find the weakest point in your body, right? Why? Because remember that everything is energy, right? So if your liver is working properly and you have a lot of energy in your liver, and I want to host this emotion in your liver, there's no space, right? Everything's working good. And if I go to the pancreas and the pancreas is working very good and you have a lot of energy, it's not going to be able to host itself there. And if I go to the stomach, same situation. It keeps going through all the body until it finds a weak spot, and a spot that you don't have enough energy at that particular moment. And it's like, hey, you know what? I have energy. You want energy? Yeah, come. Stays there, you know?
And one of these times we'll have to talk about the German new medicine as well, where it's actually like it's such a cool concept where depending on where it's hosted, you can actually get to the subconscious belief and the energetics around it. And behind it. And it's so interesting because I use that all the time. That and Louise Hay's, you know, she has her, and it's so interesting. They correlate. Did I tell you this, Jacob? There's been multiple ones that I've noticed where whatever it says with the cause of symptoms with Louise Hay, it correlates with the German new medicine, and they were completely independent of each other. So that
let's do that one next session.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good one.
And I'm gonna be more like an spectator, so I can learn all the things that you've been discovering. That's gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be very exciting. You know, I can give you the energetic point of view of what happened energy-wise.
Yeah, definitely. I would love that.
But definitely, I'm all for it. You know, I want to listen to all your discoveries because that's a beautiful thing. You know, Anuschka and I get together a long time ago when she was going through her process, and I needed to do a lot of work with her, and it was going to be very expensive. So instead of going that route, like a traditional client, we become friends, and it was like you keep helping each other. And then on top of everything, as you are probably aware at this point, I'm not very techy. You know, I, I I got lost along the way, and I mean my PC's computers are still on Windows 7 because I think that Windows 7 is fantastic. You know, and I don't know which version they are. So anyway, the thing is that. The beautiful part about what we've been able to work, or in my case, that I was teaching Anuschka, because very early, we discovered that she also has some gifts, and that she can actually become a healer and allow herself to accumulate all this beautiful wisdom. The difference between wisdom and knowledge is the wisdom is coming from within, from your connection with source. It's information that probably you already experienced it in another lifetime, if you believe in that. If not, it's coming from above or whatever you believe so. And knowledge is something that we study. Like, for example, I have a lot of knowledge about how the energy in the body works because I've been studying it. You know, I'm studying a lot, but then I come up with the wisdom that I have and try to understand better the things, you know. And but the beautiful thing about doing the work the way that we are doing it, and what it makes us a little bit different, is that we don't apply the rules from everybody else the way that they teach them. You know,
Right.
we bring that information and we bring it down to our level, and then from that level we expand on it. And we always are trying to search for new things and trying different stuff, and how does this helps, and so on and so forth. And that's why it works very well, good in a very unique way with a lot of people. And I love it. And I love it. Like right now, I mean, we talk about, I introduced her not too long ago to the German New Medicine. I never been a follower of Louise Hay. And now she's getting all these things combined, right? And is creating her own thing. And it's amazing. I love it. I
Yeah.
definitely love it.
It's definitely cool.
Yeah.
It's like it definitely chills when I saw that and I see it over and over again. I'm like, this is really cool that two
Yes, it
completely
is.
independent people, different times and
Working.
whatnot, and yet, for
Yeah.
instance, like with ovarian cancer, right? Because I usually work with people with cancer
Mhm,
for the most part,
mhm,
but like it's
mhm.
about creation. And so you look at it from German New Medicine, and it talks about it has to do with something to do with creation or fear of it or however that looks like. And then Louise Hay has like a very similar subconscious belief around it. And I'm just like, and that's happened with multiple different things. So yeah, it's really interesting. So yeah, I look forward to
Awesome.
talking more about that
Awesome.
next week. So Felicitas said, could you summarize all the points that you have mentioned? Um, Sue, I know we talked about anger release and just like using your hands. I don't want to touch
Well,
your face
the
right now.
first step is try to remove it and release it when
Oh yeah,
when it born, when it's born, when it's a baby. You know, it's a baby energy inside of you. That's when you want to release it. You know, don't wait until it becomes something bigger and complicated, like a physical symptom in your body, right?
so be
For
aware.
those,
Be aware is the
yeah,
first thing.
yeah, and
I love
yeah, well, yeah, of course, you have to be aware that you are
it.
having this emotion inside of you. The second thing is remove it or release it as soon as you can, as soon as possible, when it's still a baby energy. The third thing is the exercise itself. You know, we share with you guys two different type of exercises. You know, and the first exercise that I told you, it's about grabbing the energy from the neck all the way up. I cannot do it properly because I have headphones today, but
Yeah, I'm like, I
like
have
doing it
earrings.
like this and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. and pushing it all the way up, always breathing and letting it go. If you activate the energy in your hands, even deeper, you know, if you don't know how to activate your energy, the energy in your hands, don't worry about it. I mean, just join our meditation later on today, and we're going to go through a whole protocol that is going to help you to balance all your chakras and the energy inside of you, which is amazing. And that, but we release everything out, okay? Up. We want to release it up. Anger is always up because it's got to be way faster. Now, after that, in my technique is just bring energy from the bottom through the chakras all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, making sure that everything went away, okay? Starting and then your body in automatic is gonna get recharged. Now, Anuschka have another technique, and her technique match a technique with the NLP uses a lot to heal pain and uncomfortable feelings in your body. So why don't you share that?
Yeah, so what I do is I envision, well, I feel it and I sense this black, dark ball in my belly usually is when I'm feeling the anger. It's dense, I feel contracted. So I envision this black ball spinning and I'm like, and with intention, I spin it outwards and I actually just use my hands and I like pull it out. And then if I'm outdoors, then I just send it to the sun or to the ground, however. And then I envision, and I know you said it differently, but this is what's been working for me. And then I envision like pretty much like the sun, right? Like a round ball, like as bright as the sun, spinning clockwise. And I have that, I just envision that going into that same spot, just to not leave it void. And then just breathe into that area. Yeah. Envisioning like the lightest the brightest light that you can.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's very similar to the NLP technique. The NLP technique is just to envision yourself pulling all that energy outside of your body with your eyes closed, seeing it in front of you, and then it's going to be spinning. And no matter which way it's spinning, just spin it faster and faster and faster and faster until it grabs all the energy inside of your body, from your toes, your head, your torso, your hands, from everywhere. And once you have all the energy there, you stop it and then start spinning the opposite way until it becomes very bright and very light. And then when you know that it's perfectly clear and clean, you just bring it back into your body to the same area. That is the NLP way, you know. But like I said, either way, you can do it, and definitely it's gonna help you.
Yeah. And these are just some ways, right? There's so many different ways out there. Yeah. It's just a matter of what resonates with you and what works for you. And there's never a right or wrong way of doing anything.
Exactly. What it works for you. What it's important is to understand that this is an energy that is gonna come and hunt you down.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't take care of it, if you don't release it, if you don't watch over that energy, eventually it's going to affect the way that you see the world, the way that you interact with other people, and the way the other people interact with you, which is even more important, because you can have some sort of control over the way that you interact with other people. But the way the other people is going to interact with you, you have no control whatsoever. You know, it's like they're going to interact with you the way they feel you. You know, when you are all cheery and happy and fun, they're going to be happy with you, and they're going to share good experiences with you, you know. And when you are all sad and depressed and all that stuff, nobody's going to be want to be close to you, you know, because they don't want you to bring them down, you know. So
and energy doesn't lie. So even though you think you might be hiding it, people sense energy.
So. Oh yeah, it's all around you.
Let's see. Oh, Felicita, yeah, you're so welcome. She says thanks you, excellent, thank you so much. What is the name of that technique? I don't know. Do you have a name? Anger release?
Well, the NLP thing, I have no idea. But I studied and I certified myself in NLP many years ago, and I cannot remember. I practiced very little of it. The other ones is just energy medicine. You know, it's we don't have a name because these are things that we discovered through time, you know, like how do I discover this technique? Well, turns out that I was trying to explain to another person, a client, how I was seeing all the anger that she had on her, you know, and I was trying to explain her how important was to release it. And then I said the problem is that it's stuck in your awareness, you know, and we need to take it out of that, because unless you remove it out of your awareness, you're not going to be able to see reality as everybody else is seeing it, right? So just try to move it, try to, and because when I am in therapy, I have like a healer coming through me and doing the things, you know, and it was like try to open it up, and we were doing breathing exercises, and eventually when it was so heavy that we couldn't stop, I pushed it from the way down, and whoop, it went away. And I was like, whoa, good. But then I remember that for the next time. And the next time when I was feeling the emotion, I tried myself and boom, it went out. You know, and then I've been recommending to other people. But that's how we discover things. You know, it's just by chance, very much. Or I mean, if you call it that way, for other people, is I channel that method or
I was gonna
whatever.
say,
You know,
like mine, I feel like was channeled, and I remember.
Yeah.
I think it was like when I was going through chemo. It wasn't just anger. It was more like I was just experiencing a lot of pain, and I started using that method. I don't know. I think it came to me in meditation at one point, and then I noticed that it worked, and then so I started taking that on whenever I felt like icky or however. But I guess we could create names for these techniques.
Right. I guess so. The other traditional technique, I forgot this modality. I want to tell you biofield because I'm working with biofield machines here, but no, it have another name. But anyway, is to grab like a bat, like a baseball bat, and start hitting your bed with it, or a punching bag and punch it until it comes out. It's not a bad technique, and it does work. The only problem that I see is that all that energy is gonna stay here. You know, it's gonna stay there, and someone or something is gonna catch it. You know, and that's the only thing, because you are releasing all that stuff and you're leaving it there. Like, for example, Anuschka is doing something similar when she's playing volleyball, but she's in the sand. I mean, she's in the beach under the sun. The earth is recycling all that stuff. But if you are in your room, just releasing all that anger, all that emotion, it's gonna stay there, you know. And that
Unless
energy
you
gotta
call
go
in
somewhere.
something else. Yeah. You have to be. I think that's the key, is being intentional about what you're bringing back in. With
and what you are doing with the things that you're releasing, you know. So that's another, because nowadays we have carpet, we have synthetic floors, we have all kind of materials that are not allowing the natural exchange between the earth and your environment, you know. So think about it.
So this, I think, was an awesome topic. I really enjoyed it. I learned something. I feel like we both had great conversations here. And then let me see if there's any other questions. I don't see any on Instagram other than what we talked about. Oh, it looks like we have one on Facebook. So Robin says he says, "Hi Anuschka, at the right time you came with the right topic. Now I am getting angry but cannot do anything because I have started loving a famous female dancer, but whenever I see her with others I cannot resist, so I just cut off seeing her videos or photos."
Okay. Well, first of all, that's a different topic, but I want to help him, you know. And this is the thing.
That's coming more from a love place, right?
Yeah, the thing is that we as a humans are social creatures, right? So being social means that you try to find other people to get together with, right? And when you lose that, it's going to create a void in your body. It's going to create a physical void in your body. Now, it's a good thing to go through the process, because remember that all the bad experiences bring a gift to your life. And it's difficult to know that and to see that when you're going through the process, you know, but it will, you know, nothing happened just because of it. And especially when it comes to relationships, it's so complicated, because sometimes you just part ways partially, you know, so you can go out into the world and have other experiences and become more mature, and then re-encounter each other again. I mean, and we have hundreds of cases of that, the people that were like high school sweethearts or college sweethearts, then eventually find each other again when they're divorced already with children and everything, and they reconnect and they are the love of their lives, right? But the thing is that first of all, you need to try to find a way to replace that energy, you know, and replace it with something or someone. And the ideal person to replace that energy with is not another relationship, it's with yourself, you know, because the problem when you're going through a breakup is that you're going to start, I'm sorry for the distraction, but I have to connect my computer here. The problem with the void when it comes to a relationship is that it's a natural, what is natural to us is just to replace that person with another person. That's what is natural, you know, to avoid living any accountability experience with yourself. And then just jump into something else, you know. And the first thing that we do, like men usually go to the bars and get drunk, and so you're hammering the liver, and the liver is where you host the resentment. So just imagine the mess that we create in our lives, right? Now, if you go through the painful route, you can bring accountability, but the accountability is going to bring you awareness of things about you and your life. And the important thing about going through that process is that you can actually learn and grow out of this experience. And the second thing that you have to do is just to forgive yourself for all the things that you did that created whatever, the separation of everything, you know. You have to come to terms with you. Because if you don't do that, it's going to be very, very difficult for someone else to love you. Just remember, you know, when we get hooked with someone else, is because we have polarity, when we have attraction. But if the attraction is happening because you have a lot of voids in your life, and you're attracting another person that have a lot of voids in their life, and you're trying to fill up each other at the same time, is gonna be a mess, right? Because you are not whole, so you are not ready to share with other people anything, and the other person is not whole, is not ready to, you know, share with anybody anything, and you are sucking from her, and she's sucking for you, or the other person is sucking for you, and it's creating this thing that is called just a physical relationship, you know, which is all about sex and being with someone, and it's not about love and like bringing yourself to
with one another. It's like I need, whenever you feel like there's a need, that in itself is a very good clue to actually look deeper and say, because when we fully love ourselves, there is no need for any other person. There's no need.
It's sort of because
need is lack of. Because if there's, that's how I see it, at least.
It's kind of like a topic to go very, very deep, and it will be ideal to have it.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Let's talk about that.
Relationships and breakups, you know, because we can go very, very, very deep, and the reason why I like to bring this energetic version of the events is because it gives us a lot of awareness. Like, for example, when I just give the exercise to Anuschka, she was like, oh, I got it in a different way, you know, but when I explain her what's happening at an energetic level inside of your body, it like totally makes sense for her, right? So that's what what it makes our podcast, or whatever we call these interactions, different. You know, that we bring information that can help you to understand it at a different level, in a different way, and the reasons why we do the things the way that we do, or I think that the things should be done in the way that
Yeah.
we think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what is important. But I hope that I was able to help you, you know, go inside of you and try to find out the reasons why this didn't continue going the way that it was at the beginning, and learn from you, learn a lot from you, because that's gonna help you to really transform yourself, not because you have to, but because you want to.
Yeah.
You know, not because anybody's pushing you, is because you are grown, you know, and that makes the whole difference. And then you're gonna be like a magnet again, you know, attracting the people around you, because you have something to share with the world. You have something to give to another person. You have something that is going to help someone else to transform themselves, you know. So that's that can be my contribution for this particular question.
Awesome. Thank you. And I know we're running
Anybody
time
else?
here, so
Oh
I
yeah.
think even if there are any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to either of us. Otherwise, as
Yes.
always, Tuesday evenings tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are going to be doing our weekly meditations. They're deep meditations.
Yes.
Jacob's going to go through this,
Yes.
you know, the polarity and the cleansing, all the oral cleansing and all that stuff. So if you're pulled to do it, join us. It's only $20. You get so much out of it. And I will be posting about it later as well. So yeah.
And believe me, you really get a lot out of it. You really, there, guys, there's no YouTube videos about our type of meditation. There's not, it's a different, it's completely different. We call it meditation because we have to call it that way. Many of the meditations out there are just like they call it guided meditations, and they're just relaxations, you know, they're to relax yourself. This is not. This is actually going inside of you and start having access to all the wisdom that we were talking at the beginning of this contribution.
Yeah, and it's something to experience. Now we finally have some testimonials, and I plan to share one later today through my stories. So keep your eyes open. But yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us. Till next week, where we talk about German New Medicine and Louise Hay and all the fun stuff around that. Bye.
Excellent. Bye-bye, everybody.